soldiers, sailors, and airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you.
What's up guys, my name is Zero Heroes and welcome back to more Gates of Hell, and today we are covering something very special. We are finally going to be having a look at the new DLC trailer called Liberation. Now, as you know, from a month ago, BarbedWire Studios released a teaser trailer announcing the teasing of the new DLC, which, as you know, had the American faction and the Western Front campaign, which was kind of the main thing about the DLC. But now that they've released a trailer, which, as you've just seen from there, that there's a lot more to this DLC, and today I'm going to be covering what's going to be in this trailer. And also they have released an article about what's going to be in the DLC coming up. They've released a lot more new information coming up, even though they have said they don't know what release date is, or they haven't released a date yet. But I remember seeing that it was going to come out at the 20th of September. I remember just seeing a date for it, I think, for the Liberation, but I could be wrong. Another date could be changed, but as far as I'm aware, that's what I heard last. But if they're saying they haven't released a date yet, then they haven't released a date yet. But if you guys like to see more content updates like this for Gates of Hell, then make sure you leave a like on this channel, and let's get straight into this, because I'm very, very excited to review this and go over it. And if you want to go see the trailer for yourself, then I will leave a link for that in the description down below to BarbedWire Studios channel, so you can check out the trailer. But as you can see, so this is one of the quotes from the video saying, "Sailors, sailors, and the airmen of the Allied Expeditionary," I don't know, I'm dyslexic, I don't know how to read, force. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. So that is one of the quotes from the trailer there, from the video. And we are proudly announced the Western Front is coming to Gates of Hell. So we had the Eastern Front, I think it is, with Germany and Russia. We had the Finnish and Russian campaign where they go on each other. Now we're on the Western Front on the other side of Europe, and we are now with the Americans and the British, but I presume the British might come later. So it's called Liberation, and it says, "Cold Arm Gates of Hell will take you through the most immersive depiction ever made for an RTS game. The single player campaigns focus on 4 legendary Western Front units. The Liberation campaign has the 2nd Rangers and the 3rd Armored Division on the US side, and Faustung Europa has the 3rd Fallschirmjäger Division and the 116th Panzer Division on the German side." So it looks like they're adding actually more divisions to the German side, which is absolutely amazing, because as you know, on the current German side, it was only on, you know, the Russian side, so like Operation Barbarossa, and I know I'm getting that right this time. So that was more towards the other side, but now Germany is getting more divisions to their factions, and it's more concentrated towards the Western Front. And of course we have, and they're already announcing 2 divisions in this, which are the 2nd Rangers and the 3rd Armored Division on the US side. So they've already given us 2 divisions for the Americans, but I presume there's going to be a lot more divisions coming up for this for the American side. From scaling the steep cliff at Pointe du Hoc to the armored clash at Cologne Cathedral, every detail has been thoroughly recreated. Here's a few screenies. That's a weird word to use. To feast your eyes. Now that is true, because I remember a wee bit of history. I remember kind of learning about the steep cliff at Pointe du Hoc, and I know I'm pronouncing that wrong because it's French. And then of course the Cologne Cathedral. Again, this is kind of bring a wee bit of nostalgia, remembering kind of the history of it. I think this was definitely on French soil, so definitely it's going to bring a wee bit of you know, remembering to even just the first games like Medieval Assault Squad 2. So as you can hear, we've got some pictures. This will be definitely in France. You wouldn't be anywhere else. As you can see, we've got some nice photos here. We've got a Hellcat, so you can actually already see what units are already going to be here. So we've got, looks like the M24 Chaffee, which is a light tank, which will be added. You've also kind of got this armored car. I can't remember, it's called the Greyhound, I think it's called, with, it looks like is it a 50 cal or a 30 cal as well, so that's another vehicle going to be added. I love like the wee American symbol kind of on the back of the Greyhound there. You've also kind of got a Hellcat, which I don't know which caliber of gun it uses, but it looks like there's going to be the Hellcat. It also shows you some German vehicles as well, such as the Panzer 4Hs, and that looks like a Yak Panzer 4, I think it is. I believe, I can't remember off the top of my head, I'm just thinking of World of Tanks wise, but that looks like a new German tank going to be there as well, so it looks like it's camping. I think that looks like a possible another, no, I thought that was a tank, but I'm not sure. Okay, so now onto the development and content. So further development of the US faction, which was the whole point of the DLC, we have had and still have fantastic support from the historians and passionate volunteers at the World War II Armor in Florida, USA. They have already been instrumental in many ways, the devil in the detail, they say, and thanks to World War II Armor, we have every detail covered. I would hope so, because we wouldn't like to go as a community wise, we wouldn't like to go into this game and finding that like the Chaffee carries the wrong caliber, or even just map details being wrong or anything like that. I think it's mostly just armored. We wouldn't like to see like the Hellcat be kind of put wrong, the way it's shaped out. So yeah, I'm really glad they're getting their details correct, because I'm pretty sure most of the audience would be pretty mad knowing that details aren't on point with this. The Liberation DLC adds the US faction, of course, and a number of German vehicles to the game, so they're adding more German vehicles to the game. It contains over 150 and 500 human models. That is insane. Now I do remember I kind of watched Sherman's video where I believe what was it, Germany, was it Germany, I think it was, that had like Italian uniforms, I think it was. I remember Sherman's video, so I think there could possibly be a wee bit of that. But over 500 human models, yeah, because think about it, you've got different types of divisions in America, so they'll have different uniforms for that, and as well you've got different you'll have like the helmets, the guns, you'll have everything. It has to be really detailed. It'll be really detailed, and that's why there's probably 500 human models. We've got 50 weapons and unique support units, such as the burst fire artillery. I remember that, but I can't remember. I presume that's just, I can't remember what that is. I believe just as in the title it says it's a burst fire, so it just keeps, it's like just I keep firing artillery. Maybe it's like one of these special units that'll be in the game, or it could just be a unit, kind of like all the other normal units, where maybe it has a special ability to burst fire, but or it could be one of these again just special off map fire artilleries. And then you've also got the legendary Red Ball Express. Now, I've actually never heard of this. If anybody knows what that is, then leave it down in the comments, because I've not heard of this. If somebody would like to educate me on this, that would be great, because I don't think I've heard of this before. New German vehicles also add to the depth of the game, and the players will be able to enjoy new Wehrmacht late war doctrine in multiplayer with the new units. That is absolutely brilliant to see, because it has been some time since, you know, we've had some new units in the game, and people are now just switching to mods to get new factions, such as a Valor mod, just to see new German units as well. So now that we'll be able to enjoy a new Wehrmacht, the late war doctrine, this will definitely bring a whole new kind of different strategy to the game, and it brings a lot of learning to do, because it'll be completely different from the other doctrines you'll see, from the other divisions you'll see in Germany. So I'm really glad this bring in, and I really hope you know, that we might see some really powerful weapons, maybe some aircraft, some German aircraft as well, like the Stuka, I think it is, the Stuka, and the bombers, I think, hopefully. I don't know. Now, it does say multiplayer, but is that going to be for Conquest as well? Because even though Conquest you don't get to pick which doctrine, surely you can still choose the Wehrmacht. There will be a selection of Wehrmacht units within Conquest, so it only says in multiplayer, but I wonder if that's also available in other game modes like Conquest as well. So that would be very good to know as well. Liberation will include 20 Western Front multiplayer maps, 25 Western Front Conquest maps, and an incredible assortment of over 500 Western European assets for the editor. That is amazing to hear. So we've already got 20 new maps for the Western Front. I can imagine them being France, and also I hope to see Normandy in there, because that would be an absolute epic map to play in multiplayer. One maybe has to defend and maybe one has to attack. That'd be an absolute amazing point. Or maybe like you have to capture key points in Normandy, so start off at the beach and then work your way up to capture different points in Normandy beach. That would be absolutely amazing, and also kind of further into France as well, which would be really, really cool. You've got 25 Western Front Conquest maps. Again, I'm hoping one of them will be Normandy, because that would be a really awesome map to see. That's probably one of my favourite ones I will be looking forward to in it as well. So towards 25 Western Front Conquest maps gives you a lot of practice as well. So if you are doing Conquest, it gives you a lot of practice. I'll give you a lot of practice to learn the map as well. So if you do want to go multiplayer, play against your friends, this Conquest will help you learn the map when you're up against AI. So this will definitely be huge for learning the map wise. And then a credible assortment of over 500 Western assets for the editor. Again, absolutely brilliant. This will give a lot of editors, a lot of mod makers who make mods, who use the editor, will give them all a lot of flexibility to play with the American faction, Western European assets. So that'll be for maps as well. So maybe they like to change things within the maps and make it more realistic, or even just change it to make it a wee bit more fictional, to make it more fun. But who knows? This definitely gives a lot of mod makers to play with maps and even just skins, and just gives them so much to play with on that. We are making upwards of 50 buildings, hundreds of environment objects, and huge improvements of vegetation visuals. That is really good to hear, because when I do look at the visuals, the vegetation visuals and the environment visuals, it's great, but it's not it's not 100% there, because all you see is just maybe some bushes that you can see, but it's not, you know, there's nothing special about it. It's, you know, there's no maybe sunflowers. Like, as you can see from this picture, there's some like flowers here, and you can see there's quite a lot of details on these bushes here. So knowing, and with the current one, I think there is, you know, you will see, you know, some, you know, visuals on like that for vegetation, but just now it's, you can see it, but it's still not great, and I think there's quite a lot missing. So knowing that there's going to be an improvements on them is absolutely great to hear, great to see, and it'll definitely change the mood, and it'll definitely be a brighter experience to play with. It just makes the game a lot more fun to play with. It will be the biggest leap in visual quality and the biggest release of fresh new content for the editor in the history of Gem Engine games. That is, if, by the way, knowing that they said that they'll be have to deliver on that, because if they don't, if they say this, you know, if they say it'll be the biggest leap in visual quality and the biggest release for the fresh new content editor in the history of Gem games, they'll need to deliver on this, because saying something like this is quite a big promise. And for gem editors, for people who use gem engine editors or mod makers, this will be absolutely huge for them, and it'll hopefully make it a lot easier for them to maybe use the editor as well, because they're only seeing visual quality improvements, but I'd also really like to see just improvements of the gem editor itself. The Gem Engine game, sorry. I said Gem Editor. Whoops, I was meant to say Gem Engine games. Never mind, ignore that part there. But new content for the editor in the history of for the Gem Engine games. Yeah, so, you know, it's really important that, you know, they really do take this, you know, to a whole new level and deliver on their promise for this, because again, saying something like this is really big, and they need to deliver on that promise. So BarbedWire Studios, I hope you keep to your promise and you make the editors and mod makers really proud, especially for the Gem Engine, which will help the game improve massively, just visually quality as well. So I really hope you're right there. As you will see, the visuals in Liberation are a big leap forward. We have created photorealistic and high quality graphics that will stand the test of time, making the third and the first person gameplay experience more immersive than ever before. Now that's quite interesting, because as you know, we have this first person and third person, which is the kind of a groundbreaking thing we've seen in kind of an RTS game. Kind of like this. So knowing that they've said, you know, that will stand the test of time and making the third first person gameplay experience more immersive, I'm hinting, I don't know if they're hinting that they're maybe going to improve the first and third person experience, because from the way they're saying it, it's definitely sounding like they're going to make improvements to the first and third person gameplay experience as well. So again, this is something that they're possibly hinting at, and making it visually, you know, in first person better. You know what, something I would like to see is that when you go into first person and then your soldier hides in a bush, I wish there was maybe like a wee setting to kind of just see through the bush. And I know that's not realistic, but just for, you know, as a player's perspective, the soldier still stays hidden, but you can, when you go in first person, you can see through the bush, so it's easier to, you know, to see the soldiers. And the only way you can see the soldiers is that you kind of hover over them, and then like a wee red outline hovers the enemy soldiers, which you know, that's the way of seeing them, through a bush. But I think if there's a way that we can go in first person and see through the bush while the soldier's still hidden, I think that'd be like a great addition to that first person experience as well. Alright, and as you can see, we've got a very nice kind of town battle going here. I can see that this bridge here in the middle looks like it could be a very vital, important, probably a lot of tank battles going along in the middle there. Even try and get some AT guns kind of set up along there as well, which would be very interesting and good to see. You've actually got three bridges actually here. One for probably infantry going along there, and then tanks going along those two main ones as well, which will probably be the main one. And this could be like a flanking way to get around your enemy, which can happen on both sides as well. So it's kind of like a fair balance of this map, which kind of helps it out. And then of course we've got the Jagdpanzer 4, I believe it is. Again, a really dangerous tank. I think this thing carries a, oh don't tell me, I think it's a is it a 75mm gun, I think, or is it an 8.8 centimeter? Oh, I can't remember top of my head. But this tank to us is very dangerous. It's very sneaky. It's stealthy. It will, and it can, if you leave it at a long range distance, it will definitely help you in the long range. This is definitely not an upfront tank. It will definitely help you maybe camp it at the back and then stay hidden in the bushes, which will make it hard to detect. And I'm not saying that because I'm a World of Tanks player, but I'm saying it just because it's a tank destroyer and that's its job. And as you can see, we actually have more photos here. So as you can see, we've actually got more info about what infantry and what tanks you'll have available. So as I've already mentioned the Chaffee, but it looks like you can see we've got the M4 Sherman. I wonder if I can just zoom in so I can show you. No, I don't think I can. Never mind. I thought I could zoom in and show you, but you can see you've got some an M4. Is that an M4A1 possibly? Because you've got different types of. Oh wait, no, that's thinking of the Abrams. Oh gosh, I'm getting my modern tanks, my World War II tanks mixed up. You've got the M4 Shermans here, a couple around here. You've got some half tracks as well. A lot of infantry as well. Some even just supply trucks back here, and that I don't know if you can see these two here, but that looks like possibly an Easy 8. It's, I don't know, the kind of the trees covering it where my mouse is, and then that looks like a Wolverine, I believe. So definitely a lot, and just from the pictures it tells you what a lot of units are going to be added as well. It looks very interesting and looks very cool. I love it. Alright, and then it says, which is the last part of the thing, which is a roadmap. So we intend to release Liberation as soon as possible, but we haven't set a date yet. I don't think that's true because I remember seeing 20th of September, but again, that could just be something that I've seen or somebody made up. We'll keep you posted, of course. We can also confirm that when the time comes, we will be releasing free content update 5 alongside Liberation, adding a lot of new units to the base game and raising the quality of the visuals of many of the game's assets to match the new standard as set by the Liberation DLC. Bearing any catastrophic or disturbing events, release will take place later this year. Our next dev blog will fully list the content, and in some of them we will tell you a bit more about the historical events that are the backstory to our single player campaign. In the meantime, catch any scoops on our Discord server. So we invite you to wishlist Liberation today. Check the store team page and hit that wish list now. So yeah, as you can see, make sure you have this DLC on your wish list because it will be coming out very soon. Of course, check out their YouTube channel, Facebook and everything, which I'll leave down in the description down below. But there you go, guys. That is it. This has been quite a long video, but I hope you did enjoy this. So this will be the new release for Gates of Hell, the Liberation deal. This is official release trailer for it, as well as kind of an article going what is going to be in it as well. So hope you guys did enjoy that. If you did, make sure you leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and if you'd like to see more updates and content like this, then let me know, comments down below. But other than that, thank you so much for watching and our support, and I will see you in the next video. See you later and goodbye.